Turning to South Africa now, United States First Lady Michelle Obama's nearly week-long trip to the continent is formally underway in Johannesburg, South Africa. Mrs. Obama is visiting the Nelson Mandela Foundation, where she will meet the former president's wife, Graca Machel, and tour South Africa's Apartheid Museum. The First Lady arrived in Pretoria late Monday along with her mother and daughters. Mrs. Obama says she will encourage young Africans to become leaders in solving the continent's problems such as poverty, disease and climate change.
For more details on Michelle Obama's visit to Africa, we are joined on the phone from Johannesburg by VOA correspondent Nico Colombant. Nico, the First Lady's trip is off to a good start. Give us some update. What happened today?
Yes, some news already. Several hours ago, she got a surprise visit with Nelson Mandela himself. So after going to the foundation, as you mentioned, she was able to meet with the 92-year-old former president and a hero here in South Africa, and a hero for many politicians, like for her husband, Barack Obama.
It looks like the bulk of a visit in South Africa is going to be played out tomorrow when she is visiting significant places and talking to young people there.
Yes, that will be Michelle Obama's time to shine tomorrow, Wednesday, at the Soweto Regina Mundi Church. And she will be making a speech about Africa's youth, about their responsibilities, and about the challenges they face. And that will be her big moment during this trip.
How can you describe the mood on the ground? What are people telling you?
Well, they do say that South Africa receives a lot of visitors, so it's sort of a muted atmosphere. You don't really notice that Michelle Obama is in town unless you go to the specific places at the specific times she is going to. But when you do talk to people and ask them about Michelle Obama, they find she is a very interesting personality. One young woman from Soweto compared her to Lady Di, the late Diana, Princess of Wales, who was admired for her own fashion and charity work. And Michelle has also gotten good reviews about the clothes she's been wearing. She landed Monday night wearing an outfit designed by a Nigerian-British designer, and people like that part a lot as well.
Now, we know that she is going to meet up with this Young African Women Leaders Forum. These young people were here in Washington some time back. Do they feel like this is a really special trip for them?
Yes, so these are the women, most of the young women who were invited by Barack Obama to celebrate the 50 years of independence for many countries, have been invited once again, this time in South Africa. And they really appreciate to get to meet again, because they've already started a lot of groups over the Internet trying to put together the best practices, the best ideas they have. And so they say it's a great opportunity to meet once again, and this time to hear from the First Lady, from her own experience, from her own advocacy, what she has to say to them. They're very interested in this speech tomorrow.
You just mentioned that South Africa receives many guests, many visitors. Several U.S. officials really visit there. First, the Secretary of State was there not long ago. All the presidents who visited Africa have been to South Africa. What does that tell us about South Africa?
Yes, South Africa is obviously the major African political and economic power, and it's a very important country for the future of this continent. Obviously, there has been some friction between U.S. and South Africa, notably concerning Libya. We just heard a story about Libya from the U.S. angle. From the South African angle, there are concerns about the continued fighting and attacks there, and they would like to see a ceasefire negotiated by the African Union. So there are some tensions there, and White House officials said that Michelle Obama's trip is not just about her own speeches, but also about smoothing these relationships.
Does it look like she kind of, to a small extent, represented the president?
Yes, exactly. She is representing the Obama administration. She is here to promote his view of what Africa needs, and that's more economic engagement, less aid per se, but more helping Africa grow on its own and grow its economies and make sure that its growing youth population has access to education and economic opportunities. And that's the Obama administration line on Africa, and that's the line Michelle Obama is bringing on this trip herself.
Well, Nico, thanks a lot for that update, and be sure to join Voice of America on the radio and internet for special live coverage of First Lady Michelle Obama's address to the Young African Women Leaders Forum on Wednesday, beginning at 0800 UTC.